This tutorial uses one of the new brushes in the Real Watercolor brush category introduced in Painter 12. It has a very distinctive and attractive texture, and although detail is difficult to bring out easily, it does arrive eventually. We're going to start by opening the black cat picture, which is on the website. File, Quick Clone. We're going to use the Real Watercolor Fractal Dry Brush. We start by resetting the brush to its default settings, and then choosing size 86 and opacity 30%. We're going over to the general palette now, and in the subcategory we're going to change it to Real Dry Cover. This will stop the brush from building up colour too quickly. Select Clone Colour in the Colour panel and check the Delay Diffusion icon on the Properties bar. It should be blue and turned on. Paint the cat and background, leaving the outer edges unpainted. Use the tracing paper to see where the edges are. Going to reduce the brush size to 46. And start painting the cat in more detail, especially in the eyes and the face. I find the Real watercolor brushes and the Real oil brushes very slow. On my computer it tends to stop after a while. I find it helps if you keep painting continuously rather than making separate brush strokes. Going to increase the brush size now to 121 and 100% opacity. And I'm going to paint the background. This will help separate the white bib from the background. Going to reduce the size down to 10, leaving the opacity at 100%. This will bring more detail in the eyes. Turn the tracing paper on and off to check where you're painting. The white marks are the whiskers, and we'll paint these in more detail with a smaller brush. I'm starting to bring the whiskers out here, but I'm painting between the whiskers. And later on we'll reduce the size again and actually paint the whiskers themselves. I have the tracing paper turned on here so I can see the outline. I'm now reducing the brush size to 3.9. I'm going to paint the whiskers. Follow the lines of white and drag them out from the cat. I'm going to increase the brush size to 20 now and put the opacity down to 20%. This will smooth out some of the marks we made when using the small brush, help integrate the different brush marks. Now I could leave it as this rather delicate interpretation of the cat, but it'd be interesting to see what it would look like to duplicate the layer and make a darker one. And I think it looks rather better. So I'm going to leave it like that. That completes this tutorial.